Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Fuller Files, the official podcast of the Syracuse Pulse. I'm Rocco DiMilo, the host of Fuller Files and broadcaster for the Syracuse Pulse. As you know, throughout the season, I'll be sitting down with Syracuse head coach Peter Fuller, as well as some of the players on the roster to keep you up to date with everything you need to know about the team. But today, we're doing things a little differently. Instead of bringing Coach Fuller on, we're just going to get straight to with a player. We're going to talk to Kaio DaSilva, who's joining us right now. Kaio, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. And how's everything with you?
Everything's good. I'm glad to be here, man. That's a great introduction.
Thank you. Thank you. You can tell I practiced that.
For sure, for sure.
Now, tell us about tell me about yourself and your soccer journey and how you made your way to Syracuse.
Well, I'm a first generation Brazilian American. I take a lot of pride in that, being the first one in my family born here in this country. Me and my sister, my mom and my father, as well as my older brother, is an immigrant from Brazil. So I went to school in White Plains, but just outside of White Plains. So I went to a Valhalla. From there, I went to Old Dominion in Virginia. I got a scholarship there, and I wasn't really recruited heavily, but that was the biggest opportunity for me, so I took it. Um, it was 7 hours away from home, so it wasn't too bad. Still was able to be able, like, driving distance. From there, I played about 3 semesters. I left really early from high school. Um, like about 2 days after I graduated high school, I was already going to Norfolk, Virginia to do summer school. They had us, the freshmen, take 2 classes and then train all summer to prepare for the season, which for me was ideal. I wanted to get there right away. Coming off a track season in the spring for high school, I was fit and ready to go. From there, I went. I did my 3 semesters, and then I ended up taking a year off of college in which I trained with a USL club, Nashville, and I also spent some time in Portugal. And then I ended up deciding to transfer to Albany and returning back to college to finish my degree, which is where I ended up finishing. Unfortunately, I didn't get the regular senior season. Final year, my 2019 ended up being my final actual season with Albany, and I ended up finishing in 2020 with online and just trying to play local. And from there, I was blessed enough to get an opportunity to play with Chattanooga FC in the same league, and also our opponents this weekend. And then with Fuller came here to Syracuse to continue the soccer in this state. And one thing that was excited me about coming here is just starting a new team, a new face in the state of New York, just to give players like myself growing up playing high school soccer, not playing academy, not really with the glitz and glam, might not see that many opportunities. I'm glad that teams like Syracuse Pulse and Flower City are making things happen to give kids more opportunities to play.
All right. All right. Yeah, it's nice to hear how you decided to take up on the opportunity to play for the new club in Syracuse. A soccer team that that hasn't, for a city that hasn't had a soccer team in quite a while, a professional soccer team in quite a while. And with that, describe signing day for Syracuse. Like, what went into going, your signing day at Syracuse? What went into the thought process of moving to Syracuse and wanting to bring the new club to Syracuse?
Well, a big part of it was definitely Coach Fuller giving me a call in the off season, telling me about it, being open and honest about the project and what they're trying to start here. It's really about just opportunity for me. It was one of at the time one of the only opportunities, solid ones, that I had. And in this business, you kind of have to take the solid opportunities, because the other ones may turn not in your favor or in your favor, but you can't wait around on them. You have to take what's solid. And being able to return back with some of my former teammates from my first year and coach, I just saw it as a good opportunity for myself to continue to grow with a coach that knows me well and saw me as a rookie, and now I'll be able to be near my family. I'm only three hours and a half or so away, so um, that having that is good to in case of emergency. God forbid anything happen, I'll be there to not too far away, or on the bright side for them to come to games is good to have.
And that kind of swifts right into my next question. Talk about your family presence, those who come to your games. And I always see all the time with your people at the end of every game. Tell me how that is, and who those people are, and how much they mean to you in terms of their attendance and supporting you.
Well, that for me, Rocco, at this point, obviously you have ambition as a player and as a competitor, but that's for me like my main drive, and why the reason and my purpose in playing is just to play for my name, for my family's name, and try to continue the opportunity I was given in this country, and just make the most of it when I'm playing there. I'm thinking going to the game, I'm always, of course, asking for a healthy and praying for a good game. But the back of my mind, that it's not just for me; it's for them. Because without them, uh, all the steps up until this point, it wouldn't have been even a thought. It wouldn't be capable, especially without my mother. She gave me, um, when I say that word opportunity, she took the quantum leap to come here, and that just started the opportunity. But all the little things leading up into the point. So even if they can't make it necessarily to the games, because at times we have games on Sunday, got to keep working. So it's tough to make a Sunday game. Um, but I know they're there in spirit, and that definitely is what fuels me, first and foremost.
All right. And when we talk about how you've been liking the city of Syracuse, what were your first impressions on it, when you started calling it a home? And what are the things that you kind of enjoy about the city? What are the things that you kind of like to do?
Well, I immediately like kind of my first take of it was it's similar to Albany. Um, Kind of just, I don't even know how to describe it, but then just looking at from a different perspective, zooming out on the maps and stuff, looking at what's around. There's a lot of lakes here, potential for this time, summertime. It's nice, but even one of the first things I did when I was out here was just go to Onondaga Lake Park. It was suggested to me, um, just to go for a walk, see how the scenery is. So things of that nature. I The other week I drove down to Ithaca. I know you're well aware of
It's a great place.
what it's missing me now, the name of the state park, Blue something. It's
Oh,
it was just great. What can
yeah.
I
I,
hear
I'm
this?
I'm trying to come. I'm trying to. It's in my mind somewhere. I can't.
I got it for you
But
right
I
now.
know what you're talking
Buttermilk,
about.
buttermilk. I had to
Oh, yes, yes, buttermilk. Yep.
I had to go to my photos. Yeah, that was amazing. So for that to be just an hour away, um, one of the blessed things about being a professional soccer player is that you put in the work, whether it's early in the morning or whatever training time is. But there's a lot of downtime, and for the players to obviously relax, recover. Um, but if you're smart with it, you can make the most of a day. And I for sure, the day I decided to go there, it was a day well spent. Definitely a place to check out. But even that, so that's Ithaca, that's around here. But there's many places of that nature in the area that I enjoy.
All right. And one of the biggest things that shines through your personality that I've seen since the day I met you was the gratitude. You seem so grateful for the people that come out and support the Pulse and the team and the whole movement, and your family, of course. Describe what that sense of gratitude means to you, to have that in you and put that out on the field, and talk about how important that is when you're playing.
Well, for sure, in the when you're coming into a situation like this with a new team, just looking around, seeing all the people, all the staff that are just hearing of how much time they've put in just to for us to get to the point where the one thing that Fuller always says is like we're the front doorstep, we're what people see, but there's a lot that goes. Of course, there's what we do behind the scenes, but there's a lot behind those scenes that has to go on. And I'm sure you see it too on game day when you're around preparing for yourself. There's a lot that goes on to get to that. So I just one thing that my mom instilled in me growing up is just to think of those things around you that are going on that might not necessarily be your first thought, because you have things to focus on yourself, but just cherishing those and appreciating, even if and things like you said, the fan sometimes just look around, just being grateful that there's people there, that they came. It might not necessarily be a bunch of people, but for the team to have started this year and there are people coming to our games consistently, trying to watch the game, that's something to be thankful for. So it's just important in day life, with everything. I know for me, what helps me stick with it and is as a reminder is just think about where the lack of opportunity that the people before me had, like my mom's family, her sisters, her brothers, her parents, um, things of that nature. They had nowhere near the opportunity or anything that I have. So from there, when you start thinking about that, it's easy. It gets easier.
All right. And you talk about coach your excuse me, your relationship with Coach Fuller, and the time that you've known him down at Chattanooga, and describe what it was like, bringing that same relationship with that you have with him to Syracuse. What kind of relationship do you have with Coach Fuller?
It's definitely a good one. I mean, to go back on what we were just talking about, I'm definitely forever grateful for him to be the first to give me an opportunity on something that I've been waiting my entire life since I started playing at 6 years old. The day that you sign your first, though, all that comes with that, he gave me the opportunity. Um, it didn't even come directly from me going to like a Chattanooga tryout or anything like that. It was me trying out for another team. We played Chattanooga, and he saw me and called me over when that I wasn't signed by the other team. So um, I always remember that, and from there on, it was just all trying to learn. I knew that he was an experienced coach, had experience in MLS. So I mean, for me, that's all I need to hear to have respect for the guy before I even met him. And then from there on, it was just trying to learn as much as possible, be patient, wait for my opportunity, ask questions. Um, and I think we just are picking up from where we left off from there. Now, I thought it was a good, um, with the circumstances of starting kind of later than most teams. For us, I thought it was good that we're coming in with a couple guys that he's worked with, so we can kind of make up for lost time.
All right. And you talk about the other guys, and what's your what are your thoughts on the other guys and how they play, and the rest of the roster, and what's your relationship like with them?
Well, there, in terms of the whole roster, I think we have a great group of guys with the right attitude to attack whatever situations kind of thrown at us. So that's one thing that I look forward to finishing the season with, and continuing to battle it this season with these guys because of that. And in terms of the guys that I played with last year, it's just good to see familiar faces coming back in. Their style, how they play. In terms of specifics, I played my biggest stretch of playing last year was the final 7 games, I believe, and they were pretty much all at center back with Sean Russell. So that's someone, and we had a lot of success playing together. So that's someone that coming back in positionally, we're in the same area. So to build on that chemistry is definitely something to have. Um, Although we can both play different positions in the back line, sometimes they're not side by side. We have that experience together, as well as the other guys. Caleb Jackson, not necessarily. I didn't play with him. He was at Chat the year before, but another player that, with his relationship with those guys, it kind of became easy when I got in with them to have a good relationship. So, but that also comes with just having good people in the team, and that's first and foremost. We definitely got a good group of guys.
All right. And I'm just going to close it out by asking, what would you say your personal and of course your team goals are for the rest of the season?
Personal goals. I just want to do the best that I can, represent my family in the best way possible, stay injury free throughout the season, and help the team as best as I can, to the best of my abilities. Building off of a rookie year, I feel really confident in where I'm at, and in terms of fitness wise as well. So I just want to push on for the rest of the season, turn it around. We had a tough month of June, but there's a lot of games left, and we play till October at least, and there's a lot to fight for still. So, and for team goals, building off of that, there's a lot to fight for. We have a playoff spot still up in the air. Nothing is solidified, and we have a bunch of games, starting with our game in Chattanooga on Saturday. So we just have to attack it from that game. Can't look too forward. We have that game to worry about, and then the rest of July in at home. So we just gotta put it all together and keep it moving.
Well, it's definitely the right attitude to have. And, like I've said this all before, that's one of the things is, you definitely do have a very positive attitude going into the season and going into the new club. And that definitely shines through, and that kind of energy definitely reflects off of the rest of the roster. So, if there's one thing that me as an outsider looking at the whole team is to tell you is just, keep with it. And, I wish you luck throughout the, with your own personal development and the rest of the season as well.
Thank you, brother. It's a must. You need that type of energy, and we gotta keep it pushing forward. So appreciate you.
Of course, of course. Well, that's all for this episode, folks. Thanks for tuning in to our third presentation of Fuller Files. Join us next time. Be sure to tune in to 11sports.com to catch all the Syracuse Pulse action. Follow us on all social platforms, and we'll see you next time on Fuller Files. Again, Kaio DaSilva, thanks again for joining me today, and good luck the rest of the way. Have a good one.
No problem, man. Take care.